So this video is just to kind of explain some of the ways that I'm using auto-loading playbacks and BPM. So I have down here, I have a playbacks window. I've created all of these playbacks and I have set the speed source to be BPM master 1. So which I have over here on a fader, on just a macro executor button. And what I'm doing for that is using macros to set that at the beginning of each song. So, you know, Wake Up here is my first song that I'm doing. And so I'll set it for that, and then I'll program all my cues for Wake. And what I'm doing is I've got all these playbacks down here that are throwing in auto load on here, so that for each different cue they're just auto loading different playbacks, because these are all just somewhat generic, just baseline stuff that I use a lot. And so you know, this Q1 is a beam dimmer saw at 100%, and so the tempo is going to be set by the BPM master, but I put the actual division, the time division, because I've got it on a 4 spread, so I'm doing the time spread on the playback itself. So if I come over here and do open view and hit this playback and come up here and look, you can see the effect speed is set divided by 2, and so I have that on each one on how I want them to be divided. So coming back to my main cue list here, let's see if I can just load a cue. And so what I've got working for me is the dimmer saw effect. And so what I did was I programmed the dimmer saw on basically all 5 of these cues. So this is just showing Wake with an intro cue underneath it, so it's going to carry the macro over, which what I did was scroll over here, auto loaded the macros in, and I wrote a macro to set this BPM exactly what it is for the song, and wrote 4 different macros for each of my 4 different songs to just set the BPM, which is very easy. Just come down here, when you record macro like normal, type in your BPM, so it was like 131 for the first song, and then come up here and tap BPM, your blue button above your BPM master, whether it be here or on a fader, and it'll automatically jump to that BPM, and then you can just save your macro, and that's it. And now you have it automatically setting your BPM at the start of every song. So so now that the macros are all in there, you can see I've got this little dimmer going, and I'm going to go to my next cue is the kind of the intro for this song, and you'll see that dimmer saw speed stays exactly the same, because there was no macro here to change the BPM. So, but then on the next song it changes, but it goes from 131 to 132 beats per minute, so you don't really see the speed change. But on this next one, as you see the cue change, you'll see it, the dimmer saw slows down, because the macro set the BPM slower. And then on the next one, I think this one is only dropping about 2 BPM, so you probably won't hardly notice the speed change. But those are things that are just everything is built into the cue, and I'm using preset playbacks and building a lot of my movements and my baseline stuff off of that, and all of my divisions for my speed are all set into each one of the playbacks, and then a macro is running at the start of every song to set the BPM for the song. And that's basically it.